What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Neeks Sports, episode 81 of the Neeks Sports podcast. Boy, it's half time in the Premier League, and we know that games are, 90 minutes. Seasons are 38 games long. Some people want to end the season at 90. Some people are saying, well, it's just started. Ferguson had a quote. He said the season doesn't start until April. So really and truly, this is really pre-season we're talking about because the season ain't started. The season ain't started. But we're going to assess what has happened so far this season. And we don't need just to go through the predictions that we had at the start of the season. We did a bit of a revisiting before the World Cup, but kind of just rating the teams. I'm not necessarily from top to bottom, but the main talking points. We're talking title race. We're talking top four. We're talking top six in terms of the big six teams, and we're talking relegation. Of course, there's some domestic cups and European competitions returning in the next few weeks. I'm here with Jay, Ramsey, Eddie Murphy. Must be a comedian today. All right, I got that. And Nat is here as well. Kyle, hopefully joining us soon. For a man with a setup in it, you see his office, boy, he can never get his technology working. God, got to sort that out, mate. Sort that out. Pull some levers or something. Get that sorted. How you lot doing? Halfway in the Premier League, what are we saying?
Tied me. Tied loophole. Yep. Tied loophole B.
We gotta talk about Todd B as well. What you lot saying?
Good. What a good season it's been, isn't it? What a very good season it's been so far.
I ain't seen anyone smile like this since 2004, and I didn't know him then.
Yeah.
Nah,
it's been good.
Huh?
Why are you smiling? You got nothing to smile about.
What do you mean I ain't got nothing to smile about?
You got nothing to smile about.
Bro, Leighton Orient are top of the league.
They lost on the weekend.
So we're 2 points clear. There's nothing to be upset about.
That's a little fun, by the way, guys, if you're joining us for the first time. If you are joining us for the first time, or not the first time, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Let's look at the Premier League. I don't know what Cal's doing. Cal, just like
what is going on?
Yeah, send a comment in the chat when you're ready to come in. Your video's still not there, by the way. Let's have a look at the Premier League table. Do I need to make that a bit bigger? Can you not see that?
Yeah, I can see it.
I
can see that, boy. For real.
What's that?
Yeah, there we go. Let's start there. Forget what's that at the top. No, listen. There's nowhere else to start other than with the league leaders, Arsenal. Obviously, the big game yesterday. It's funny because the two best games so far this season, I would say, have been the both Man United Arsenal games. The derby, Man United derby, Manchester derby was 6-3 and a lot of goals, but I wouldn't say it was a great game because 4-0 at half time, the game was over. Was it 4-1? I can't remember now. But there were 4 goals. They had 4 goals by half time, the game was over. In terms of a spectacle, entertainment, I guess, kind of nail biting to an extent. The two Man United Arsenal quality, of course, Man United Arsenal games at Old Trafford and Emirates have been the two best games I would say this season. It's a bit of a throwback, even though for some reason Arsenal's top and Man United's fourth. Usually stuff went around, but we deal with what is, and you have to credit Arsenal. Arsenal, 19 games, exactly halfway for them. Some of them have played a bit more. Spurs played 21. Some have played a bit less. Obviously, we're on 20. Is anyone on 18? No one's on 18. So it's everyone 19, 20, and then Spurs and Fulham on 21. But 19 games in, 16 wins, 2 draws, and just the 1 loss. 45 goals scored, 16 goals conceded. Ramsey, we have to go straight to you. Like, you must be absolutely buzzing.
I think obviously it's been a good start to the season for sure. It's just been unexpected, really. That's the most thing here. No one expected this to happen at all. Well, maybe people expected it to happen at some point. Maybe people thought at some point it might happen. but no one really expected Arsenal to be top of the league this year, this season. After the transfer window, going into the World Cup, no one, we're now talking halfway through the season now. People said at one stage, they're not halfway there yet. Let's get to halfway. That's where you really see what it's at. And granted, we haven't played everyone yet because we still ain't played Man City.
Who said that? I don't remember.
I think people just say it, as you go along, at least get to, because you know what it is, because of the World Cup. I think it happened a lot of talk because of the World Cup. Everyone was like, the World Cup's come early. We're not actually halfway yet. Let's let it fall out a bit. Let's see what happens. And now we're 19 games in. We're 5 points clear of a game in hand, but still yet to play Man City, which it's going to be looks like it's going to have a big say in what's going to happen in the end.
Game
Really,
for Man City. Tough game. Man City
this is the thing.
Man City are 5 points back. We've played a game more, and they're like, damn, we haven't even played the league leaders yet.
Yeah, it's true. And it's not even been looked at like that at all. It's all been looked at as the Arsenal challenge to go to Man City. But you know what I mean? Man City are going to have to come with something different for us because they've not played this Arsenal yet. They've not played, they've played these players before, and two of them used to be their players before as well. So they've played, they played, and obviously they have a similar sort of game in terms of the way they play. But the reality is, Arsenal have been better. Arsenal have been playing, if you like, it's whether you call it Pep Guardiola's football, whatever. Arsenal have been playing Pep Guardiola's football better than Pep Guardiola because they've been the best team in the league this year.
So what's changed for Man City? We'll get there. Sorry, we'll get there.
Yeah, and but I think like for Arsenal's sake, and you probably saw it quite a bit yesterday. It's like as much as Jesus was a big part of the play in the first half of the season, Zinchenko's changed the way Arsenal play in their build up to the debate, because when you play with Kieran Tierney, he doesn't offer the same level of control that Zinchenko.
He's a completely different fullback, isn't it? He's going up and down the wing.
Yeah.
Whereas Zinchenko's literally. I guess we've always known it. Zinchenko's a midfielder playing at left.
Yeah.
Yeah. And in the game, he plays in midfield. He lines up at left back and he plays in midfield. So effectively, you're playing with three at the back and package midfield.
He's got a free roam. He's got a free roam position. He literally says, and to go and play there. And I think there was an interview in the Telegraph, I think, where they talked about him at Man City, and it was Arteta's idea to tell Pep to play Zinchenko as an inverted fullback because that's his position as a midfielder when they brought him in, and it worked, and obviously it's worked with Cancelo as well. And
but to be fair, he was playing Delph at left back before as well, and Delph is a midfielder, and that was before.
Yeah, but I think when you play an inverted left back, you kind of get both, because as soon as Anthony gets the ball, he's at left back again. As soon as you're on the attack, he's back in his natural position, as you say, trying to defend the goal. And granted, he's probably the best one-on-one defender, but I guess luckily for Arsenal, because he is so good in possession, we keep the ball most of the time. So he's not really tested as a fullback.
This is it. It's like we'll get onto Man City a bit more, but it's like we talk about these defenders, these fullbacks, can they defend? Are they? And when you've got the ball, 60-70% of possession, the time, then the defending that those people have to do isn't necessarily exposed, because the team kind of accommodates for their deficiencies by accentuating their advantage, their benefits. I guess what we're seeing with Man City is, well, when things ain't clicking, then those deficiencies start getting exposed. You're like, Cancelo's not really as good as we thought. Man being dropped. He's as good as we thought. It's just that Man City are playing in a way that's protecting him. But the way that Arsenal are playing, they're getting the best out of all their players. And everything just clicking at the same time. They said you can lose Jesus, and Nketiah comes in, and it's like nothing. Like nothing in terms of the level hasn't dropped at all. He's a different kind of striker. He's going to be more in the box, but the level of the team hasn't dropped at all. Maybe individuals. I'll say maybe Martinelli benefits more from having a Jesus because he can occupy certain spaces and allow Martinelli to score more goals. But Nketiah he's filling in, and he's doing a good job. But Javon, tell me about Pep. What's going on with Pep? Because it says trust Pep. He's the best. You trust Pep to claw back this lead?
I I when it comes to Pep, I don't have anything to say about Pep. I'll leave that to Ramon and Kyle. I'll leave that to Ramon and Kyle. They deal with talking about Pep. I only talk about Haaland when it comes to Manchester City, but I don't know what's going on over there. I couldn't tell you. Sorry.
You said Pep's a fraud.
I can't speak for Pep. You all know I've never been the hugest fan of Pep. He's proved me wrong, I guess. But as soon as I say, you know what, maybe I was wrong, this starts to happen. So I don't know. I can't speak on Pep. I don't know what's going on at Man City, but all I can say is that game against Tottenham, I think changed, like maybe put them back into gear, because that first half when Spurs were 2-0 up and then they turned it around and won, was it 4-2 if I remember correctly? I I'll give it to them for that. Are Spurs that bad? Maybe, but you don't come back 2-0 to win 4-2. Um that just doesn't happen that often. So, and then obviously they then go out and beat Wolves. I think Man City will put up a tough challenge. I did predict at the start of the season that Man City win the title, and tyranny rules, and you're not allowed to change your mind during anything. Once you say something, you have to stick by it till death do you part. And so Man City will still win the league.
Listen, you can say what you want. I'm saying
I can't. So Man City will still win the league.
I'm saying Arsenal have to win the league. And like for me,
you're right. You're right. They have to at this point.
For me, Arsenal win the league. Arsenal are winning the league. Like I'm not even. Yeah, you can contemplate Man City coming back in.
No, but you can't say that, Neeks. That wasn't your prediction. You can't say it. You're not allowed to change your mind.
Javan, you're twisting everything. You're twisting the whole thing.
No. I'm twisting. What am I twisting? Hold on. I said Arsenal. I said, you know what? I said Arsenal are going to win this league. I said, has anyone else in this chat think that Arsenal are going to win the league? I then get told, I'm like these people that change their mind when the wind goes the flow. You can't stick to one thing, this and that, whatnot. And now I'm twisting it. That's exactly what happened.
Because I'll tell you why. Because you have history. This is not just a one-off.
Oh, here we go.
I know the history is you like to just put your eggs in different baskets. So if Man City win the league, I said it at the start of the season. Remember, I said it. I told you Pep was going to win it. I told you.
Yeah, well, that's you lot sport for making the rules. You made the rules. You made the rules.
Of Arsenal in the league, what did I tell you? Arsenal going to win the league. Should have said it. You didn't agree with me. I said say it halfway through. I changed my mind.
I changed my mind, and Arsenal won the league. Yes, but my prediction is still wrong. But my prediction is still wrong.
I was right.
No, but I was wrong, because the prediction said Man City, but during the in play of the actual season, I said, you know what? I think Arsenal are going to win the title from what I've seen. Imagine, so what? If Arsenal are in relegation, I have to sit on my chair and say Arsenal are still winning the league, you know?
No.
Damn, they're still winning the league from 20th position. You make it make sense, man. You see things change, and you adjust to how things happen, man.
You don't have whatever discussion in it. All I'm saying is we can't change our predictions in terms of our
exactly. You can't.
No, our preseason predictions, because that's what they are. They're preseason, and at the end you judge how close you were in terms of your predictions or not. But as things go on throughout the season, and we do it every year. I think it's a bit of banter, but as things get closer, who do you think you start looking at the fixtures? Who's going to get top 4? Doesn't matter what you predicted before. If things change, innit? And as it stands,
exactly, things change.
Arsenal are going to win the league, surely. They can't lose it from here, or can they?
If Arsenal bottle it, this will be the biggest bottle on planet Earth. They have to, like, it's by force that they win the league now. Like, they have no choice. They actually have to win it. So
The thing is though, like, because we haven't played Man City yet, we could lose 2 games to Man City, 1 game to Liverpool at Anfield, and that's 9 points in the bag already.
Why
Like,
you
we're already.
why?
We could.
Why are you
could,
gonna?
We could easily.
Okay,
Easily.
But
Man City.
as it stands, you haven't done that, so
Yeah.
you
I know,
can't
because
say that.
because we ain't played Man City yet. Like, because we ain't played Man City, it's not for us. It's not really. We've not.
It's in your
I
hands.
don't really
No,
see it as
it's in your
even yet
hands.
until we've at least played. Yeah, of course it is. Of course, we're top of the league. We're 5 points clear. Yeah, like, of course it's in our in our hands right now. But we have to. There's a long way to go. We're halfway through the season. It's literally halfway.
You know what it is?
We've also got to play all the teams again that have we've already beaten, and have to raise our game again, because they're now going to see us as top of the league. You get the respect from being top of the leagues, and so we're going to see performances, I would assume, a bit more like Newcastle, where teams are a bit more reserved and was going to require us to do something a bit more different than we had done. Because like when we played Palace at the start of the season, Palace are like, oh, it's Arsenal. We might be able to get a result here because, we see them come here last year and we beat them. So it's just, you're playing Arsenal, you might get a result. You play the same way. Now you've played 19 teams and they've said, okay, Arsenal have, won 19 games. How do we do something a bit different now? It's going to be a case of, okay, now we see Arsenal. Now we're going to have to see Arsenal as the top team who people want to beat now, who people are going to want to defend against, who're not just going to let them try and roam free. And that's going to be the challenge. I think Arsenal can win the league. I think Arsenal can win the league. But
statement of the century, Arsenal can win the
yeah,
league.
no, from here, from where they are, they can win the league. I don't think they will. I don't think they will. I think when push comes to shove,
Whoa.
I don't think they will. I think
what? Oh, come on.
Man almost made Neeks fall off his seat.
I've not changed. I've not flipped my statement. I said this 2 weeks ago when we spoke about it.
Yeah, but things have changed since then.
They have.
You said it's fine. You said it 2 weeks ago. That's fine. We've beaten them since, and we lost to you in that period. Yeah. Things have changed.
Yeah. But as time goes on, maybe I will change. Maybe I will change. But right now, as I see it, I've seen Man City. I've seen Man City do this before. I've seen that. I've never seen Arsenal do this before. This is new to me. I ain't seen this since 2004.
Quick question. Sorry, Nick. Quick question. Wait. Just a real quick question. Just a real quick. It's so quick. It's so quick. So if it's a little 2 things. So let's say you beat City those 2 games. Are you now going to say Arsenal will win the title?
Yeah,
100%. Are you going to double down?
Yeah, that's in April though. That's in April.
The second game is April. The first game. Ask about the first game. If you beat Man City, the game coming up, which is not too long from now. So everything.
If we beat.
Wait. I think it's a scenario.
Yeah.
All the results between now and then are the same. So your points gap is the same. Then you beat them. You got 8 clear of a game in hand.
Yeah. I will then make Arsenal favourites. Yeah, I will.
Okay, good.
I will make Arsenal favourites. I will. But right now, as it stands, do I make them favourites now?
No,
I don't make them favourites. Yeah, because I think Man City will win the league.
Why do I need to smell the coffee? I'm saying Arsenal will win the league. Ramsey needs to get his head out of the mocha and smell the coffee. There's a problem going on there.
Right, this is new. I was happy with top 4 this year. This is new. People are telling me you might win the league. I'm saying, what? I just wanted top 4. If you gave me top 4 in August, I would have bit your hand off for it, because we didn't finish top 4 for how long? I would have bit your hand off for it, top 4. Now you're telling me you're going to win the league. I'm like, right, I don't even understand what you're saying to me. What do you mean we're going to win the league?
But I would have bitten everyone's hand off for top 4 at the start of the season. But now I want a trophy and top 4. Like, things change. We're in the semi-final of the Carabao Cup. I can't just be like, well, you know what? If we lose to the Forest,
you're in a big trophy semi-final.
Trust me. I want to win the Premier League. Trust me about that.
You're in a big trophy semi-final.
But every trophy counts. You Liverpool fans, we're talking about we got one more trophy than you. All right, apparently, because you count where Lancashire Cups or whatever. All right, you can have it. One more trophy than us. But when we win the Carabao Cup, we got level again. At that point, when we win that Carabao Cup, we will be. Oh, you had the Community Shield. Okay, cool. But we have won the trophy this season before Arsenal, before Man City, before Chelsea, before Spurs. I don't care. And until that trophy is lifted in May, we are not trophyless. Our trophy drive is over. Everyone else is going to count back to when they last won a trophy, not us. So I want that. I want it all now. I want it all, but I want that. I don't really care about some of the other stuff. It's a bit more difficult. Kyle, a bit silent over there. Pep Guardiola's adopted son. You still make them favourites? Man City, that is.
Can't hear a thing, big man.
Can't hear you.
Can't hear a thing, young blood.
Oh,
What's that?
no.
Telling me to humble myself. I don't understand what's going on. I don't understand. You lot got lucky yesterday. What do you want me to say?
No, still can't hear you, Carl. I'm just reading your lips, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, now we can hear you. Yeah, go.
yeah,
Now
some-
we can
for some
hear you.
reason it changed my settings. I didn't realize it did that. No, I would say, what was I saying? What did you ask me? You made Arsenal favourites. Oh,
Favourites, yeah.
mathematically, yeah, I would make them favourites because by logic they're top of the table
No. My question was,
with a game
no.
in hand.
Kyle, my question was, you made Man City favourites. That's why I asked. But go on.
Oh, do you make Man City favourites?
Yeah, that's
no,
why I asked. Okay,
no.
Go on.
But yeah, because obviously they're behind by 5 points. Arsenal got a game in hand. If Arsenal win their game in hand, obviously they're 8 points clear, and Man City have to play them twice. So even if Man City beat Arsenal twice, it puts them 2 points behind. So yeah, logically Arsenal would have to be favourites for the league title for me.
Wait, who's Arsenal's game in hand against?
Everton at home.
Ooh,
New manager bounce.
New manager bounce. You say Sean Dice.
Yeah. We got them away next game. Our next game is Everton away. So
Oh, they won't have a manager in time.
yeah, well,
Did they fire Frank?
FA Cup this weekend. So,
Oh, okay.
yeah. So they got
Did they
them.
fire Frank?
So they,
Have they fired Frank?
Yeah, Frank's gone.
yeah, right. Oh, yeah, Frank's gone.
Long time.
Yeah, Frank's gone. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's done in football
So
now.
him and
not done
Gerrard
it.
have no job.
Man's a legendary
Crazy.
player. He's definitely got more jobs than 100%.
Yeah.
No, he did. He flopped. He flopped at Derby. Chelsea, he had that season where he somehow finished
But
fourth.
the thing is,
Then it was a
it's
pan,
only-
and then he went to
it's only-
Everton.
It's only rival supporters, so to speak, who say that he flopped at Derby. Most people be like, well, you know, he did a decent job, got to the playoff final. Like we see the glass as half empty. They see his glass half full. Hence why he got the Chelsea
To be
job.
fair, he did get to an FA Cup final.
And then also in the Chelsea job, they'll say he had a transfer ban. He got bad players.
Got top
So he
four.
was,
Yeah,
got top four, yeah.
but we're
Top
seeing on the
four,
other side,
FA Cup
everyone else-
final. Okay.
Yeah, so they're seeing on the positive, and then this one with Everton, it's like, well, he kept them up, and Everton's a mess, so he's not really his. Listen, that man could be managing Spurs next. Like, don't get into it.
It's true.
Maybe Liverpool is Klopp first. We'll get on to Klopp in a second.
We're getting that far down.
Yeah, I think we might, if we got enough time, we might stretch our eyes down to mid-table obscurity. Assad says, get Lamps back in the BT studio. Him and Stevie belong there.
Stevie's dead there, man.
Wilson says, there's no way in hell that Arsenal loses to Everton. And he says, I believe that the title is Arsenal to lose because we are in form and got momentum. Also, we've been the best team in the league so far this season. Right, I've clicked
Says
that.
a lot about everyone else in the
I've
league.
clicked that, Wilson. So you better make sure that Arsenal are in the league. If it's not, I'm blaming on you. What are you saying? Arsenal favourites, yeah?
I said they should win.
So they should win. Okay. That's the
Look-
biggest.
look-
Wait, Ramsey, would you do that? That is if they don't win it, it's the biggest bowl job in Premier League history.
Yeah.
He'll spin it elsewhere.
It depends how it happens, man. I can't just say it just based on the fact that they're top and they're no longer top. As I said, if they win every game but they don't beat the two Man City against Liverpool, then nah. If they're 9 points, because going to Anfield is not going to be easy, and Liverpool are not going to. They're going to have everyone back there. It's not going to be easy. We're playing them in April as well, so it's not like they'll have
My
Diaz
screen
and
don't
Jota.
even have Liverpool. Where? Oh, there they are. Come on.
Tough place to go.
How much games have they lost at home already this season? Well, you ain't got 9 to worry about, man.
Liverpool.
Just one.
Yeah. At home.
Who they lose
We've
to? I don't
lost a
know.
lot away.
Brighton.
Oh,
Brighton
it's
beat
all your
Liverpool.
away games you've been winning.
Yeah,
You
lost
said,
one,
okay.
one at home.
Kind of away
And
games,
they
man.
must have
You
lost
can't
it
do
there.
it away.
So where you lot in the away table? Yeah, 14. We'll
Woo!
get there, man. We'll get there. We'll get there.
Oh shit.
So listen, Liverpool are 50. I mean, oh, imagine Liverpool 50 points. Good luck with that. Arsenal are 50 points from 19. You know, extrapolation completely. They're on for a Centurion season. You obviously know that's
No.
not how it works, but
What is saying? Jesus with double centurions in his bag in his pocket.
I'm screaming.
that's a double
Wouldn't be
miss. That's quite a
surprised.
long, so a double miss.
Scoring less goals than
Um,
Darwin Nunes in the game.
Question from Wilson says, "Do Arsenal need to get a midfielder before the January transfer window shuts?" Ramsey.
Do they need to? No, I don't think they need to. The reason is because I don't think the one that they want is going to be available. Maybe they could get a backup, but the position they needed was a wide forward, and I think they got that. Now it's just a case of if there's one available to see us through, maybe. Because we don't have a good backup for Partey and Xhaka. But whilst everyone's fit, it's a case of you just ride with it now. It's worked so far for the first 19 games, but I think come the summer, if we do make it to the Champions League, God willing, then we'll need a midfielder then. Fight the big boys.
You're a joker. This guy, I told you Eddie from Murphy, because this guy is a joker. Lastly on Arsenal, well, actually, maybe two things. I'll be fair. Is the Casemiro party debate over after Rashford ended Thomas? You see that? You were there in the stadium, innit? You must have been. You took a big gasp when he pow through his legs. You thought, our guy's been cut open. You must have been.
It was good. It was good from Rashford. The issue Partey had there was
Like, it wasn't Casemiro.
no, he tried to play the ball to Ben White, and Ben White ran. Funny thing is, he did that against Spurs, and we scored. And Rashford leg lung them, stretch out his leg, long foot them, and stretch out his leg. And I hit that too quick, man. I wasn't even ready for him to shoot that. He just licked that quick before Partey could get back at him. He saw Partey coming in his wing mirrors. Said, "Nah, let me just lick this off whilst I'm ahead of him anyway."
You know what I was mad about?
Partey didn't have his best game yesterday.
Especially in the first half. I think in the midfield we did good in the first half. It's only in the second half that was. I think Zinchenko probably came in more. Sometimes it ended up on the right in the second half, and it was a mad thing. And Eriksen started tiring. Obviously, you got Eddie in your name. Were you an Eddie supporter? I don't know. I can't remember. I know I wasn't. I didn't believe it, but I don't know.
I don't even know if I am now. Listen,
you wasn't.
I agreed with you when you said. I think we spoke about it, and you said he's probably like a third choice striker, and I agreed with that.
Yeah.
He was for me going into the season. I weren't sure that he was going to be good enough to be second choice, to be honest. And I'm still I'm not necessarily convinced just because he started well that he's going that obviously. Well, we're going to go with it anyway, but I'm not convinced that he can necessarily carry it all the way through. But he's doing well so far. And
as a second choice, he shouldn't have to carry all the way through. He's a second choice, isn't it? For a reason.
Yeah, but I mean, let's just say Jesus injuries drags on, and it's now April. He comes back in. Is he going to be good enough to carry us to the league as our main striker all the way to April? That's what the test is. And the reality is, Arteta put his money where his mouth is. He said to Eddie, "Look, I'm giving you the new deal, and you will be the number 2. And if something happens to Jesus, you're gonna be given that chance." And fair play to him. He could have panicked in the we've got the whole January, or he's still got a few weeks left. He could have just said, "You know what? Jesus is out till April. Let me just sign a striker like João Felix till the end of the season and bench Eddie." But he's going with, you know what? Eddie deserves his chance. I told him I was going to give it to him. We'll buy a wide player like Trossard who can play there if necessary. Yeah, now Mudryk, he's too much of a wide player. I think he wanted a bit of an all-rounder, you know what I'm saying? So we'll move Trossard instead. And now, and I think, now it's justified. Now we can say, right, Eddie, you've done your thing now. I guess you ride it until Jesus comes back and see what happens. And fair play, he's done well. Done very well. Prove me wrong. If I had humble pie, I'd eat it.
I heard it don't taste that nice. But Kyle, has Haaland made Man City worse?
No.
So how are they letting Arteta's twiddlywinks lead them on a title challenge? I don't understand what's going on. You promised me he was going to come in and destroy the league, and he's sitting in second. I'm confused. Help me out.
But he has done that.
Well, he hasn't, because Arsenal are clearly.
No, I don't do what you do. I didn't say if Man City get Haaland, they'll win the league.
No, I don't forget that. You said you could destroy the league. He's sitting in second.
And he's doing that. He's destroying the league. He's got
Arsenal not very destroyed.
He's got 25 goals in 20 games. That's destroying the league.
To what end? Man,
you told me. It's not me saying it. You told me that what he has just accomplished is historic.
Yeah, historically bad. How can you score that many goals and not win the league? You're damn right.
You know what's so funny about all of this? You're only saying this. Hold on,
Wait,
you're only
wait,
saying
wait,
all of this.
wait,
No,
wait,
stop.
wait,
You're only
wait,
saying this
wait,
because when Ronaldo went to Man United, everyone was like, "Oh, Ronaldo made United bad, blah, blah, blah," and now you're trying to push this onto Haaland. I don't want to hear this garbage. I don't want to hear this crap. Keep your agenda to yourself. Buying someone does not make your team worse. He is performing. If he wasn't performing, then cool.
My friend, I'm trying to get something out of Kyle. You don't Erling defensively.
No, because I'm tired of this garbage. I'm tired of it. I'm tired.
I didn't say he has. It's a question. I'm just here to facilitate a discussion based on what you're hearing now in the ether. Some people say he has. Some people say he hasn't.
No, only you.
Whoa! I haven't said anything.
Only you that want to say he's. No, I never heard that. Only person I hear that from is you.
I've never.
Only you.
From the podcast. Kyle. So if he hasn't made Man City worse, why are Man City worse?
I mean, it happens, isn't it? This is their second attempt at winning 3 in a row, and when they tried to win their 3rd in a row the first time round, they were equally as bad, and then they came back the next year, won 2 in a row with 95 plus points. Like, it ain't easy, innit? Like Pep said after the Spurs game, even though they came back and won, he clearly wasn't happy. And he said the players have basically lost the fight, winning 4 in 5 years. A lot of them have lost their hunger, and he said for him to find that spark back in them. But I guess if they don't win it, losing a league title when you're the favourites, they know how good their team is, and not winning it, they would be like, nah, we can't make that happen again. So maybe the next 2 years, they're on it again. But winning 3 in a row, it ain't easy. But I know Man City's quality, they have it in them to go on. Like, say Man City went from now and won 10 in a row. It wouldn't surprise me. Like, Man City have it in them to do that.
I hear you.
But
I think at Man City, it wouldn't surprise me. But I would be surprised if this Man City team won 10 in a row. Because I feel like drop points are just around the corner with them. Defensively, they're so leaky.
Yeah, they are. But they haven't had Diaz all season, but he's back now. They haven't had Diaz all season. So we'll see if things change, because they've had a couple of players out here and there. And it's one of those things where what Arsenal's doing right now reminds me a lot of what, because I was saying it to Raz yesterday, it reminds me a lot of what Liverpool did. Liverpool strategically bought players for the right price. Their fans would say we never overspent on any of our players, and they built a team. They brought in Alisson, brought in Van Dijk, brought in Salah, brought in Mane, so on and so forth. They strategically strengthened their squad to the point where they were able to challenge Man City. And that year that they won the league title, I remember a lot of people said that as the weeks went by, we got through like 17 game weeks, 18 game weeks, 19 game weeks. The theme was like, well, Liverpool are getting very lucky because they haven't had a single injury to their first team. And I remember, it's not like their squad now where they've got Diaz, Salah, Jota, Firmino, Nunes. Like they've got players to rotate. I mean, I'm not saying they're all of the highest quality, but they have depth. Whereas when they won the league title, they had Mane, Salah, Firmino, and that was it. There was barely any. There was
Origi.
barely any wiggle room. Yeah, there was no
We had
wiggle room.
Origi
And so-
and Minamino as well.
And so
Please respect my brothers.
Minamino goes. Okay.
Thank you.
So the narrative was, oh, Liverpool were very fortunate that they're not getting many injuries, because if they got any key injuries to some of their key players, they would have struggled. And then we basically, the season after they won the league, it was kind of that, like a couple of injuries, and you know, you thought they fell away. The season straight after, wasn't that the season where Van Dijk got his injury? It was the season after
Yeah.
they won the league. Yeah,
Literally,
Van Dijk got the injury out for the season. Liverpool scraped on the last day, top four. Had a very bad season. Yeah, I think it was the West Ham against Man United. Yeah, that got them into top four. Yeah, scraped it on the last.
finished
Yes.
third. We finished third, didn't we?
You finished third. You finished third. Yeah.
Yeah, it finished third. But what I'm saying
Yeah.
is, it all happened on the last day, innit? It all happened on the
Well,
last
it
day.
went down to the last day. Yeah.
Yeah, it went down to the last day. Yeah. So yeah, they didn't have a great season the season after, but it was all because they didn't adequately strengthen their squad.
So what you're
They
telling
didn't-
me
they-
is that
but
Arsenal's
Arsenal
down
did-
season is next year.
Arsenal's-
I'm ready for it. I'm
No,
ready for it.
no. But Arsenal need to learn from that, because Arsenal are now going to be in top four. They're going to be in Champions League. Arsenal don't have much wiggle room outside of the top four. Trossard's a fantastic signing, because Trossard is a quality player, which now adds depth to their team. And obviously, when Jesus comes back, that adds an extra piece of depth to their squad. But Arsenal don't have like I've heard many people say, outside of their trio midfield, which is Odegaard, Xhaka, and Partey. If one gets injured, you're looking at El Nene, or you're looking at Lokonga. You're looking at those are the kind of players that you're looking at. They're not adequate cover. Like when what's his name asked earlier, do Arsenal need to sign a midfield for this season? No, they don't. They got enough in the locker to go the distance to achieve what they want. But going forward, being competitive in the Champions League, being competitive in the league, and on all fronts, Arsenal's team isn't remotely close to big enough. It's big enough in terms of they have players in depth, but they lack the quality in depth. Arsenal's team doesn't have depth and quality, so they're doing very well right now. And I think that Arteta will throw Europa League, because I think everyone knows that they've qualified themselves for top four, and he's not going to play to win Europa League.
Nah.
I think he will play a lot of second choice players like your El Nenes and your Lokongas and your Rob Holdings and those kind of players in the Europa League. He's not going to field Gabriel and Ben White and Odegaard, and like, he's not going to do it. He's going to play Fabio Vieira, Smith Rowe. Those are the players that you're going to see. I think I say throw it. Obviously, he wants to win the match. No one's not going to want to lose on purpose, but he's not actively going to go out and play his first 11 when he's in a title race and you've already got top four. He's not going to do it. So Arsenal have enough in the locker to go the distance, and it will be very close. Whereas Man City are going to be playing their best team in the Champions League because they want to win that as well, whilst also being in the league. It will benefit Arsenal. It will benefit Arsenal.
It depends. I think it depends. If Arsenal draw a bigger team like Barcelona, or dare I say it, Man United, in the Europa League, then he's going to play a strong team. He ain't going to play El Neni and Lokonga in the games. But I think he will do. I think Arteta will do what he believes is enough to win the game. Like, for example, we got Man City in the FA Cup on Friday. Most of the fan base will say just play a weak team, and
I think
get through.
He's
He's going to go strong.
I think both going to go strong. B-ish.
Yeah. Nah, Arteta is not going to go B. He's going to go.
He ain't playing the same team he played against Man United. He ain't playing
not player for player. He'll play, but he'll play about
there'll be 5
6 or 7.
There'll be 5 changes, I think.
Yeah, but that's not weak. That's not weak though.
I mean,
he's not.
So the first team is weak.
It's coming in because if it's like, oh, you're taking out Eddie and Nketiah for Jesus, which obviously you're not because he's still out, then fair enough.
Yeah.
But we're taking out Partey for it's weak because
but that's what I think. That's what I don't think he's gonna do. That's what I don't think. I think he might do like a Tomiyasu for Ben White or a Tierney for Zinchenko.
When's your next game after it? Is it the weekend after?
Yeah, on the weekend.
Okay,
Everton.
We'll see it because as Europe is a bit different because you got their midweek. Midweek weekend. Whereas if you got a week between fixtures to play, the same team back to back. When we come to Jay, who's obviously itching to defend his boy Erling. Sorry, his robot Erling. Man City last season, at this point, 20 games, they were on 50 points, 39 plus 39 goal difference. This season, they're on 45 points, or 5 points less, 3 goal difference. Help me out.
Wait, what?
What's
You
going
said
on?
3 goal difference. Wait, what?
33.
Oh.
Plus 33. So Erling's got 25 goals, yet their goals scored to goal against ain't better, and they're 5 points less. But Erling's not the problem. Help me out. Question.
I don't know why you're asking it like that. Like there's not 10 other man on the pitch. Like Diaz injured, players are not playing full. Like it happens. Haaland has come in and he's doing his job. He's scoring goals. That's what he's brought in to do. He's scoring them. Like it's not his fault that the defense is leaking. Like Nathan Ake, what's he gonna do? What are you gonna play him in defense too? What do you want?
Whoa. He's had a good season. Don't hate on Ake, please.
No, but I'm just giving an example. A good season, they've conceded goals. Like, listen, either way, if the goals are going in, you have to look at defenders. The goals are being scored, so you can't look at the attackers. So go look at elsewhere in the team and look at the manager, look at wherever else, but do not try and say that this is all on Haaland. This ain't Manchester United where everyone wants to say it was all Ronaldo. I don't believe in all that bullshit, man.
What's the difference?
No, because people probably used to come to you and say, "Oh, Ronaldo made United worse." So now you're trying to run this on Haaland. I don't want to hear that. Anyone that says all that crap, I don't want to hear that all that crap.
I just want to know if we're going to keep the same energy. Because when
well then go at the people that said it. Don't come at the people that didn't.
We're having a discussion.
Because I didn't say it. So don't come at me with that nonsense. Because I never said that crap.
Are you on the pod? Are you on the pod? Can you answer the question?
I never said that, so you can't come at me with that. How can I defend people that that I have nothing to do with?
I didn't say.
How can you ask me to answer people that I don't care for?
I didn't say. You said last year X, Y, Z. What you said?
Yeah, but you're asking me that. How can I answer that when it has nothing to do with me?
You can say. Well, like Ronaldo, X, Y, Z. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Well, I never believed that. I never believed Ronaldo made Manchester United worse.
Exactly. So you can say like
so
Ronaldo.
You can't ask me that.
I can't ask you the question. It's a question. You can use it as a supportive, but you can use the Ronaldo situation as supportive evidence. I like the Ronaldo situation where I did not believe he made them worse. Why would I believe I made Ronaldo worse? I'm just saying, innit? I'm just saying. For me, I'm not saying it's hard. I'm not saying Haaland needs to get back and defend. I'm not saying any of that. I don't think it was Ronaldo's fault. I don't think it's Haaland's. They're doing the job they were bought for. Haaland scoring. He got 25 goals. I think he's played 19 out of his 20 games. He's doing the job he was bought for, and he's not doing anything worse than he was doing before. For example, at Dortmund, so let's say he was linking play and making these through balls and all that, and you're like, that's the player we're buying, and he comes to Man City, he's not doing that. You're like, well, what kind of fraud is this? But he was never doing that. He was just scoring goals, and he's doing exactly the same thing. So Man City knew what they're buying. Pep knew what they're buying. Everyone knew what they're buying. He's doing his job. The same thing he was doing before. However, you can do your job and the team still not be better. So it's not like he has said, I have made them worse person. But are Man City better with Haaland or without Haaland? Now, we had this discussion in the group chat. If you take Haaland out of this Man City team right now,
and they'll be worse because they wouldn't have no goals.
Yeah, you're right. But if you basically reverse the team before Haaland came in, i.e., last season's team versus this season's team, I think it's a fair question.
No, you can't because we don't. Last season ain't gonna perform the same as this season.
No, but the question is, was last season's City better than this season's City? I.e., does a team with obviously we don't know if that team comes back this year does the same thing, but we can compare.
Exactly. So we can't have this conversation.
I'll give you an example. We say which is the best Premier League team of all time, and you go the Invincibles, the 08s, the Chelsea. That they never played.
Yeah, because that's happened. That's solid.
No,
we're comparing different achievements, but you can't. The season ain't even done yet. They might go on and win it, and then we're gonna say
They might.
this is the
They
worst
might.
City team ever because Haaland came in and scored 70 goals. But it's the worst Manchester City team ever.
If Haaland scores 70
Get this
goals and Man
nonsense
City win nothing,
bogus.
last
I
season
wish
Man
Ronaldo
City
never
were
went to Man United now, because if this is the
I think-
crap that we're gonna come up with
If
now,
Haaland
it's
scores 70 goals
unbelievable.
and Man City go trophyless, last season City was better. I don't know what you want me to say.
I think it was interesting.
But
What
that's
Pep
not
said.
Haaland's fault.
I didn't say it's his
I
fault.
think it was interesting. I think what Pep said before was that whenever Haaland loses a player in midfield because he had a full last,
You're breaking up.
essentially
Ramsey,
You're
Ramsey,
breaking up. I thought it was just me.
Ramsey, you're frozen. Ramsey,
Golly.
It-
Oh no.
you're gone.
Can you
You're dis-
hear me?
No,
Oh
not really.
no.
You're in and out. Your picture's frozen. Must have been.
So Anthony's better. So is Zaha better than Anthony, or is
Can
Anthony
you
better than Zaha?
hear me?
I think you're coming back, but you're still kind of. Are you there? Say something. No, I don't know.
Can you hear me?
He's frozen.
I think you're frozen. Oh wait, yeah, I think you're back. I think you're back. Yeah,
I'm back.
yeah. Go on.
He might be.
I think there's a bit of a delay.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Thank you.
I was just gonna say, yeah, no. Man City. Pep said that Man City played with an extra midfielder last year, essentially because they played the false nine. So they've lost the midfielder, and the midfielder's now become the striker. And because of that, they're used to playing with the team building up with the whole team going forward. So Foden was dropping in, and they were bringing the ball together up front to score the goals together. They're now having that man's now out because he's now Haaland, and even though Haaland is doing his job, and Haaland, but the thing is, Haaland's getting these goals in bunches. So you score 3 goals, and you say, oh, he's got 3 goals in the last 3 games. Well, he's got 3 goals in the last game, and against Chelsea and Man United when they needed him to score, he didn't. So he got 3 goals in the last game, or not Chelsea, Tottenham or whatever. Chelsea, yeah, Man United, and then Chelsea before that, yeah. So yeah, he did his job he does his job in certain games where it works, but when it doesn't work this season, when it hasn't worked, they've struggled to find.
Well, he
the
hasn't been in
extra-
it because even when he scores those goals, he's not in the game per se. He's in
Yeah.
those moments, and those moments win the game. But when he's not
and
in those moments,
they're struggling
he's
to
not in
find
the
it.
game completely.
Yeah.
It's
When
the
they play Man United, they struggled to find him in that game at all. They struggled to get the ball to him to find him, and so he didn't get a chance to have those moments because Man United, nullified that threat into him. I think Man City have to learn how to play with Haaland every game, like every
do
game.
they? Oh,
Yeah, every game.
Season, I was looked at like a madman. Anyway, we'll get back to that.
No, but I mean, they he's got 25 goals. It's not like they don't know how to play with him.
No, me and Bianca said this in the group, and you were looking at it like we were mad, Ramsey.
Because you said Liverpool are gonna Man City
no,
gonna find it harder than Liverpool.
Forget the Darwin Nunes part. The Haaland one was like, we think that they might have to learn to play with him, and obviously he scored 3 goals in like 7 seconds, and it was like, I learned how to play with him.
But it's not that they don't know how to play with him. It's that they need to learn how to get the best out of him in every game, not just the one game where he scores 5 goals. It's the games where he doesn't score. How do you get the best out of him in that game? How do you get the best out of him when he can't get the ball to him? Well, do you take him off?
And that's not his
Do you
fault.
take him off? Like sometimes it's a case of
That's the fact and the rest of the team's fault.
And put Alvarez. It's for Man City to work out, isn't it? And
yeah,
maybe they might work. Maybe they won't work out this year. Maybe they won't work out until next year.
It's not a blame thing. I'm not saying, De Bruyne, you're not finding him. They both have to learn each other. Like Haaland will make the run every single time. Maybe he's always going to make the run, and maybe it's De Bruyne change and play that ball quicker, or whatever it is. I don't know. Or maybe he needs to hold his run because he knows that the ball is not going to come every single time. It's a mixture of the two. But I think with Haaland, it's like Man City are more dangerous because you've got Haaland. So it's like they can win the game at any point because you've got Haaland. But I think I want to look at the stats. I'll probably wait till the end of the season because I think they're also more defensively suspect because they've got Haaland. And not Haaland per se, because they've got that type of striker. Compared to last season, they bring the ball up together so they have more control. Whereas now, if they get the ball in midfield, the first thing they might be, Haaland making that run, let me play that ball. And that ball gets intercepted, let's say 7 out of 10 times, then that means it's coming back to you. So it's coming back to your defense more often this season than it was last season. But the time that it does go through, it's going in the back of the net. Whereas maybe last year, the time when it was going through, no guarantee, like we saw against Real Madrid, that it's going in the back of the net. It's like you get it goes through more. It goes through maybe more times, and your defense is facing less shots last season. But if you're not going to score those, it then kind of evens itself out at the end. So it's like, has he made it better? Has he made it worse? I'm saying is halfway this season they're 5 points less, and they're losing to Pep's what do you call it? His prodigy, and I think that's a bit embarrassing. And if they lose it, I'm going to blame Haaland.
And they gave us 2 of their players to do it.
Don't be sad. Let's move down the table a little bit. Top 4. So obviously Newcastle's in third at the moment. Man United are level on points in third, behind on goal difference, 39 points after 20. Spurs are 3 points behind both, having played a game more. Brighton 6th, Fulham 7th, Brentford 8th. And then you have propping up for the rest of the top half, Liverpool and Chelsea in 9th and 10th on 29 points. Liverpool having played 19 games. I'll come to the actual real top 4 contenders in a second. Let's go to Nat. Liverpool. What's going on, man? What's going on? Talk to us.
I don't know. I genuinely don't know, you know. Like, I be watching the games and I'm like, these men can't pass. Like, we go away to teams like Brighton and we're losing, you know, just being outplayed. I can't even say we're second best, we're like third best or fourth best when we're playing against the other team. It's mad. Like, our best player is our goalkeeper. Like, genuinely, he's our only good player that's playing. Like, we bought this Gakpo guy. Like, he's just filling in the position. You know, Darwin Núñez is just doing Darwin Núñez stuff. You know, Salah's just running around. I don't know what he's doing with the ball at his feet. When it's at his feet, like, Trent is predictable. The midfield is not midfielding. Fabinho's lost his legs. The guy, I don't know what he does. Like, it's mad. Like,
so is Alisson literally the only good thing about this season?
Bro, Alisson, he's our best player. Literally, our best player. He gave away a goal against Wolves in the FA Cup the other day, and I was like, that's his first mistake of the whole season. Like, and he still redeemed himself in that game. Like, the guy, he's our best player, man. He's the only good thing that's happened this season. Like, Harvey, like, the young boys that have come in have actually done more than our first teammates, which is surprising. Like, Ben Doak, he looks good. Bajcetic, he looks good. Like, what's it called?
Nat, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Why do you think Liverpool have been so bad? I'm not even trying to make. I'm actually genuinely asking. Why do you think Liverpool have been so bad? Like, why do you think the reason? What do you think the reason is they've been so bad?
I think they're tired, and I think, like, we've just become so predictable. I think all our players are burnt out and they're predictable.
Because to go from potential quad to 10th, 9th, that is mad. Like, it's one thing like what Chelsea done, where they won the league one year and they were fighting relegation for the first 4 months. That's one thing. But to go from literally 4 competitions, you were within like striking distance of winning all 4. This is bad. Bad.
And to add more to it, like, our attacking players, we actually can't rotate any of them because the rest are injured. So
where's Firmino back? He's in my draft team. I don't know what to do.
Bro, he's injured. Like, he's the guy's just injured. I don't understand. Firmino started the season well.
He did.
World Cup happened. Man got injured, and I follow him on Instagram. This guy didn't go World Cup. He's at church, chilling, preaching, all of that. But he can't show up at Anfield and play football. What is going on? They're even talking about giving Firmino a new contract. Please tell me.
Naby's due a contract, ain't he, as well? Milner,
He's not
due a
getting it.
contract.
He's not getting it. They're releasing Naby in the summer.
Oxlade Remontada, I don't know where that guy came from. Back in the team, I see what the hell is going on. You lot are
You
a
see-
mess. You lot are an absolute mess. And you know what I love
Desperate.
about it? Because you got Darwin Núñez. I say over us because we were linked with him. I think we actually put in a bid on this one. Gakpo we clearly wanted, but we obviously didn't have the money. We tried to do the Cologne thing, and you lot came in, and they both come in, and the credit that Darwin Núñez has got is hilarious because let's be honest, he ain't done nothing worth talking about. But they're talking about chaos, agent of chaos. He's making runs and he's causing problems.
No,
You're sitting in ninth. Whatever problems he's causing is probably
You
more
see-
for his own team than the opposition. And I
you
love
see
it.
Darwin.
Of course, I would love it if you can take Man United and bang. But the fact that you lot got them over it, and at the time when it happened, it was like, yeah, we got a pulling power over Man United with our one extra trophy.
You see
How's
when-
that worked out for you?
When I watch Darwin play, I just have to like get popcorn and just laugh and just enjoy the entertainment because the guy will miss like a sitter and then score some random header from across that shouldn't have reached his head. He makes no sense whatsoever as a footballer.
He's basically
Nah, do
your
you think?
Diego Forlan.
You think he'll come good though? Do you think he'll come good?
Yeah, I think he will because he shows signs like he genuinely shows signs of
so
like,
did
that he
Diego
has the
Forlan.
talent.
Diego Forlan.
Bro,
No,
we're
I'm very serious.
talking
But
about
Diego
past
Forlan-
plays. We're not talking about past plays. You did this. You did
No,
this
but
with Haaland,
Diego
Ronaldo.
Forlan was a scorer of
Stick
great
to the
goals.
future.
He scored some bangers, but he would miss the best hitters. It just didn't work out for him, and he went back to Spain and he banged. Like,
Oh, so you mean like Olivier Giroud?
he just got lucky with those goals.
No, I genuinely think he has the potential to become good. It's whether he unlocks it or not. He's 23, so he has a lot of time. So
Unlock him like Man United tried to unlock Pogba for those years. To that.
but yeah, nah, he can bang, man. I just think.
I think he's
we
got a
need
bit about him, but I wouldn't put anything down on him banging because sometimes it just don't work out. Like the reality is, I'm not saying he's a bad player, but sometimes it just don't work out. Every signing can't work, and it doesn't, innit?
Yeah,
Kyle,
I just think.
Oh,
I was gonna say. I just think.
Oh, go on now. Finish it. Go on.
I was just gonna say. I just think we need to get as far as possible in the FA Cup and just get that top four. That's what we need to do to save our season.
So you
you
think
got a Champions League to play for.
Yeah, I forgot about that. You're in the
You got a Champions League to play for.
Huh?
Oh, okay.
You're in the Champions League.
Yeah. Kyle, please don't talk about competitions that your team is not in. Thank you. Anyways, asking your question. Neeks.
Wait, so you actually think you're gonna get top four? Or you think? What's your chance of top four? Since you mentioned.
Huh?
What's your
What's our
chance of
chance of
top four?
Our chance of top four is very slim, but if Arsenal can bottle the Premier League, we can get the top four.
All right, so you're playing Conference League football next year. Kyle, is it time for Klopp to move on, or is it just like a blip and then back next year? Like 7 is his 8th year. You know his history of 7 years. This will be his 3rd, 7th year at club, and it usually 8th year. Sorry,
You know what?
Thing. So it will usually end in disaster.
I think it is. And I'm not saying that because he's a bad manager. I'm saying it because he's been in the league a long time and he's won one league title. He's won a Champions League as well. But I was thinking about, I'm trying to remember if it was Jamie Carragher or Gary Neville. I think it was Jamie Carragher that said it. But he said Jurgen Klopp and Pep Guardiola play a very, very high intensity game. It demands a lot from their players. And he said, I think what we're seeing from Liverpool now is basically the style of play, the amount of games that they play, because they got to the final day of every single competition last season, and the amount of games that they play is catching up to them. And he said just the same thing is happening to Man City. Man City is just a bit more of a delayed reaction because pre-season, Man City didn't have a pre-season. They had 2 pre-season games, whereas everyone else had a full-on pre-season tour, XYZ, whatever. Man City had 2 pre-season games. And Pep said the reason why he did that is because I wanted my players to have a longer break to recover and rejuvenate more. So maybe Man City players are getting a more of a delayed reaction to a fall off because of high intensity game. But Klopp has already shown that he can't go toe to toe with Pep in a high intensity game. So it's not that he's a bad manager because he's had a bad season already. The season where Van Dijk injured himself and was out for the season, they had a very, very poor season that year. They had a poor season, but he came back, and their next 2 seasons, they were very good. Pushed Man City all the way, both getting like 95 plus points all the way. Obviously, they didn't win the Premier League, but they came very close. Last year, almost got.
Won the champion.
Last year almost won the quad. Final of the Champions League, almost won the quad. They won the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup. Last day of the Premier League and the final of the Champions League. Obviously, that was last year. But getting over the finish line, if you're going to have to come with this cool down every 3rd year, so then bad year this year, then next year they're going to have 2 more good years because they're basically like, all right, we're giving up this year, we're kind of cooling down, half playing it, and then the next 2 years are going to be very good. But then the 3rd year, all right, we're going to have another cool down year. You might as well move him on because in those 2 good years, you're banking on besting Pep. And Pep's kind of got him in his back pocket. So you might as well go with a manager.
You mean Arteta?
Well, same thing. But you might as well get a manager that is more sustainable for the players that aren't going to burn them so fast. Like Salah is 30 years old, right? And we're seeing football players in modern day, not even just football players, but just sports persons across the globe in all sports. Modern day sports science is allowing professional athletes to play on at a higher level for longer. We're seeing Cristiano Ronaldo at 37 or whatever, Lewandowski 35, Messi 35, players 36. Federer retired at 41. I mean, I know he wasn't the greatest player, nowhere near his prime, but Federer retired at 41. Nadal and Djokovic, they're like 35, 36, 35 years old. Sports science today are allowing professional athletes to play on much longer. And if Salah, exactly, if Salah is performing this badly at 30 years old, it's clearly the intensity is too high. All them extra asthma pumps is getting to their lungs now up in the club. It's wear and tear. And like I said, it's not no discredit. It's not no discredit to Klopp. He's done a great job, and I still think he's a fantastic manager. But you just need someone that's a bit more sustainable, something that's not just so high intensity. If he was the only manager in the league that played this way, and there was no Pep, and he was dominating, I was like, yeah, cool, no problem, keep him. But the fact that Pep is here, he's got to go.
And Pep's not even the best manager in the league. He's a challenge. Klopp's got to get back to the top.
I think I would agree with what you were saying if FSG weren't selling the club. If FSG weren't selling the club and they weren't looking to invest the way other clubs are, I would probably say he should go. But I think
what does that change though, Ramon? Throwing money at it doesn't change anything because it happens to Man City on a slightly less fall off because obviously they throw money at the situation, but their key players are still tired because they won 2 league titles and then they lost it to Liverpool. But the year they lost it was they had a bad year. Then they won 2 in a row again.
They'll have new players who haven't gone through that intense.
Yeah, it's a refresh. They can refresh it.
But give them 2 years. They'll be back to where they are. If Klopp is the manager, but Man City are doing this and they can't sustain.
They are. They're winning 2 every 3 years.
Yeah,
but the fall off is still every 3rd year.
Yeah, but
it's about how you build. It's about how you build back and get them back. I think if Klopp leaves, I don't think there's a manager. Well, they're going to have to change everything because of the way Klopp has done it, and I think it's going to be a bigger rebuild. I think the best bet is to get the new owners in as soon as possible and get playing the way Klopp was playing with a new set of players. Just to refresh that whole midfield needs to be refreshed. Like that, it just needs to be chopped and changed.
They've got a front line and backup. So you don't really need to invest in that other than if someone's not good enough, you one out, one in. But you don't need to add to their front line in terms of their options. The midfield needs a whole new three. A whole new three. And the defense as well. The centre backs, Matip is breaking down. Van Dijk's not getting any younger. You probably you always got this Trent thing. You like, and when in the bad times, it intensifies like the highlight of what he's good at, what he's not good at. That you need only 3 midfielders, and you probably need 3 defenders, like across the back 4, whether they're going to be starting or backup or whatever.
Got no one. So for Liverpool, did Darwin Núñez make them worse?
Potentially.
I'm just asking, so because since this is what we're doing now,
because he ain't Mane.
Losing, I would say losing Mane made them worse.
Yeah, because the person they replaced him with wasn't on that level. So if they got someone on his level, fair enough. But Darwin Núñez ain't on his level, and they're worse because Darwin Núñez ain't as good as Mane.
So Jerome, what I'm trying to say is losing Jesus made them worse.
And Sterling,
and Zinchenko.
Exactly. And you did all that just to get 25 goals in 19 games. Oh, great. Well done, Pep. Genius. Absolute genius.
Sad.
How many goals did Haaland score the weekend? 3. Mbappe got 5 today. Back on the top 4.
Here's his 5 claps.
You need to get 6, man. Double hat trick. Wilson says, question, do you think that Manchester United are still favourites for the top 4 leagues? Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Cassell. Who are they?
Who are who? Oh, the top great team in France.
It was over. Was it the league?
It was the cup.
Oh dear Lord. Okay.
Good cup ran out. Man United are favourites for top 4. Listen, I might come to look like an idiot at the end of the season when our season falls apart because Rashford gets injured and Varane gets injured. Like where we are thin squad and we're a few injuries. We're literally 1 or 2 injuries away from. We're in a top 4 race. Don't get it twisted. Like Spurs have been bad, but they're 3 points off. We've got a game in hand, but there's no guarantee for the 3 points off. Newcastle look like they're kind of hitting a bit of a wall in terms of scoring goals, and they're just kind of dropping points, but they're still right there. Chelsea, we'll get onto them. They've signed a lot of players. It might be an improvement, but I think they're a bit far back. Liverpool, they're not signing anyone. I don't think there's going to be much improvement, and they're a bit too far back. But where our squad is thin and we're not investing, we got Weghorst on loan. That's what we're dealing with right now. So exactly. So we're on thin ice. As it stands, we should 100% get top 4. But tomorrow is not promised, and Rashford may pull a hamstring in training, and you're like, we ain't got no one scoring goals for the next 4 weeks. Like that's how.
You have Anthony.
We've got no one scoring goals for the next 4 weeks. So that's kind of where we're at the moment. I expect us to finish above Newcastle. So that means that we would need that Spurs would have to go past us, and Liverpool or Chelsea, if not both, go past us, because I expect to finish above Newcastle. I'm not going to expect to finish above Spurs, even though in this moment it looks like we should, but Conte's still a great manager. They've still got top players, even though they've been struggling. And form happens. We've got a lot of games. We're playing 3 games a week until March at the earliest. And if we progress in the cup competitions, we're playing 3 games a week, maybe up until the end of the season. That's crazy. So I'm like, I want to win all these games. If we get knocked out to Barcelona, which is probably the most likely thing to get knocked out of, because they're playing well. We've got a lot of games. We're in the League Cup semi-final. We're playing Reading in the FA Cup, so I expect to win those 2 games and get to the final of the League Cup. We may get knocked out to Barcelona. I'm not going to be mad because I don't think we've got the squad to play 3 games a week to the end of the season. We could end up playing all those 3 games, losing the final of all those competitions, and still finish 5th because we tried. And I don't want that. I'd rather get top 4, win a League Cup, and just keep it moving to next year. So, we're favourites. but it's not guaranteed. It's definitely benefit is we played Man City twice and we played Arsenal twice, and we're still in the top 4. So I can't complain. We've overachieved based on what I expected for us this season. I had us finishing 6th. Yeah, I had us finishing 6th, and we're sitting in 4th at the moment. So I can't complain. Ten Hag is living up to what I expected him to do, but quicker than I expected him to do it. Best ball manager in the league. I can't hear you.
Still got to play Brentford again.
Yeah, welcome Brentford to Old Trafford. Listen. When I was thinking about the Arsenal game, I was like, we gotta go to the Emirates. And I think those Arsenal fans are like, it's been a while since they could say, yeah, at the Emirates different. Our home form's decent. 7 wins, 1 draw, 1 loss. That loss was the first game of the season against Brighton. We conceded 5 goals. 2 was in that first game against Brighton. Like, 1 was against Man City, 1 was against Arsenal. I'm good. Like, bring anyone at home, and I'm confident. Away, I mean, we're not. What we? How could we lost that game? Yeah, we lost that game to Arsenal. So, Man City won away. No, I don't. Man City won away at Spurs, didn't they? Yeah. So before that, this week, I know we had the 3rd best home record. At the moment, we're 6th best away record. So that's the win into like 50-50, 5 wins, 4 losses. But the home record, 7 wins, 1 draw, 1 loss. That 1 draw was to Newcastle. Yeah, bring Brentford. Bring Brentford. Who else we got? Chelsea to come. Bring Chelsea. We got to draw away from home. Bring Chelsea. We have to go away to Anfield. Go away to Spurs, and away to Newcastle. So those will be tough. Those will be tough games. But they have to go. They have to play Man City. Those teams have to play Arsenal. Maybe not Spurs. They don't play Arsenal, but Newcastle play Arsenal. They have to play Man City again. They're going to play Liverpool. They have to play Chelsea. Everyone's in that situation. We've played the best 2 teams in the league, so I'm confident. It'll be a good season if we do. Let's finish up on Chelsea, and not just obviously we know Chelsea's struggling, but specifically I want to talk. Is this the January transfer window or is transfer window? Because every time I look at my phone, I got a new notification about a player that Chelsea's talking to, bidded for, or signed. That's literally it. It's non-stop. And it's like every time there's a bad result, a player comes to appease the fans. See what's happening? I can't. People are like,
I was a bit upset when we won the other day.
Why did we get a draw? Oh, we won the other day. Oh, we're not going to sign a
when
player.
we won, I was vexed. I was like, damn it, we're not getting Enzo.
Yeah, but then now you draw with Liverpool and they're in for this right back. I can't remember the guy's name, Gusto or whatever.
Gusto.
Mad. Like, as a Chelsea fan, what are you thinking?
And apparently we're preparing another last bid for Enzo. 60 mil.
And Casado from Brighton. Like, both of them are.
Well, one of them. If one fails, we're going in for the other.
Exactly. So, as a Chelsea fan, you're sitting in 10th in the league. Obviously, you sacked your manager early in the season, but you're signing all these players. How are you feeling? Is your emotions up and down, or you just like what? Are you just dead inside? Like season's done. What are you thinking? What are you feeling?
I've always hated player power, and I've always said, why can't we just get rid and start again? And it's finally happening. And I've been saying this for a while. The players are past it. Kante is still good, but he can't keep fit. And Kante has been Kante.
Exactly.
I ain't seen him.
Exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying. He has covered the gaps in midfield for far too long. He made Jorginho somehow come 3rd in a Ballon d'Or. And look, no Kante. Who is Jorginho? Like,
He's a European winner, mate.
Our midfield problem is so bad that our youngsters are the best. When you have Zakaria looking really good and all of these people, and you wonder why, because Chelsea's midfield is bad. It's just bad. And Kante carried it for the longest, and he doesn't have the legs anymore, so it's showing. let's talk about the attack. Pulisic, garbage. Kai Havertz has just been awful. Like, I don't know. At this point, I don't know. Is he a write-off? Is he as bad? I think we should have just kept Tino Werner at this point. We're better off keeping. I promise you, if we had kept Timo Werner, I think we probably would have been in a better position than we are now. I highly believe
I'm not
that.
going to disagree with you. At least he made those.
I think he would be, because he may have missed a lot of chances, but there was so much chances being made. He was able to get in behind, which is what we need. No one does that, and he does that with his pace. No one has that. I ain't seen that for the longest since he's left. I ain't seen that. It's just not been there. João Felix comes, and he's been doing that. He's all over the pitch. Modric, he's there. We're missing that up front. Everyone else is just a bit static, and just not.
You must have been happy when you apparently did the normal hijack on Arsenal. That nothing to get excited about.
This whole hijack thing, like, I don't care in it. Like, I just see it as they won him, they went down, and they put the money down, and that's what he went. Like, I'm sorry that it had to be Arsenal, but we absolutely.
You don't look sorry.
We absolutely got gazumped by Barcelona all of August. So we had to do our business in January, and it's just it's a shame like that it has happened to Arsenal. But I guess if Arsenal had put the money down sooner, then he probably would have went there. But that's just my thoughts on that. But Chelsea needed this. Whether they're all gonna gel, I do not know. That is the next problem and hurdle we need to address.
Do you think he's basically doing, because obviously they bought the club and they made a commitment in the deal, so they spent 2.3 million on the club, and then a commitment to invest 2.3 billion, and then 1.7 billion into the playing staff. Now obviously that's over a certain period of time. It's like he's trying to put that 1.7 billion into the first year and just say, that's it, all my investment, I don't need to invest in the. Because, like, what's going to happen in the summer? Are you expecting more players to come in, or are you just expecting everyone gone?
I think anyone that we don't get now, I think in the summer is what will happen. So I believe with what we brought in, I think in the summer, if we don't get a midfielder this Jan, I think that's what we're going for. A midfielder, and maybe if there is something in the João Felix deal and he plays really well from now till whenever, then I think that will be it. I don't think there'll be too much because you still got Nkunku coming. I don't know if Gardival might even happen to. We don't know. And I guess Todd is doing what he can now. The club got no debt essentially because it all got wiped, I guess, with the sale.
Yeah.
Spreading it out, over 8 years. Loopholes.
You better get all those transfers done in January, because come the summer,
the loophole is closed. It's closed. Yeah. So if that's what he's got to do, then you got to do what. That's probably what he's doing.
Next summer.
Huh? Oh, this summer.
Next summer. So you still got one more summer.
No, it says no. I swear it said that it's gonna be effective from this.
Next summer. It said next summer. That's what it said. So I don't know. Well, does that mean this summer? I don't know.
Yeah, it might be this summer.
Yeah, it might. Yeah. I think January will be the last. Yeah. So if that's the case, then I expect to probably see 2 more signings come through the door at this rate. And you know what? And it's not even only Chelsea. If Man City done this, if Arsenal done this, if Burnley did this, I wouldn't care, because stop policing people on how to spend their money. Like, whether it's football, like even your day to day, like your friends, big corporations that make these multi-billion-dollar business, stop telling people how to spend their money. It's that simple.
For me, I don't have an issue with anyone spending money. I think.
Not you, but people in general.
I'm just responding.
Stop complaining. It's their money. It's not yours.
Like, what we've seen already hard for it. Season, Arsenal are able to put themselves in a position where they can win the title, and they haven't had to do a madness. Now, it doesn't mean being able to do a madness might help and fast track the process, but I'm not, as a Man United fan, I'm not going to be like, Chelsea spend all this money is why we're not going to win the title. No, we can still do our business and do what we need to do, as because there's only so many players that can play a game. 11 men at any one time can be on the pitch. So if you get the right 11 men or the right 17 or whatever, just to make sure you have a squad, they can't sign everyone. They can only have one manager. Like, it is it and done. It might make it more difficult, but it's far from impossible. We know it's been difficult since Chelsea first got their money, and then Abramovich got then Man City got their money. Now we've got Newcastle, but it's just what it is, isn't it? It used to be 2, then it was 4, now there's 6, man. Now there's 7 from Newcastle. It is what it is, isn't it? So listen, if Chelsea,
and you got to get it done now, because that's another thing. How do you know we'll be able to get these players in the summer? What if we're not even in Champions League?
You're not in the Champions
Like,
League.
they're gonna be more attracted to go to Newcastle, who have that money. They just haven't unleashed that spending book yet, and they're in prime position to do so. So all of those things, he's probably looked at him like, okay, let's do this. And there was money in the Premier League, so it allows us to be able to do this. I think if Roma made a signing like that, they'll probably go into FFP straight away because they can't afford it.
Are you there? Graham Potter.
Yeah,
what are we saying, Graham Potter? Is he got a future at Chelsea? Is he out of his depth?
I don't even know.
Thanks for joining us.
I've got to give it a mix. I think he's a bit of a mix in terms of I'll give him to the end of the season. I'll give him maybe, depending on how he does from now to the end of the season, I'll say, you know what, you go again. You've got players in now. Let's see what you do. And then from there, I need to see. But then again, we got to be patient because everyone was screaming Arteta out. And now he's about to get the Premier League trophy. So maybe we have to give it time. Maybe we're in that era now where we have to give it time. But then again, that being said, if Klopp does get sacked, Graham Potter needs to be sacked too, and Klopp brought in.
And Klopp go in.
And that's that. I'm being dead serious. If I see Klopp sacked at Liverpool, 100% sack Graham Potter now and get Klopp. I think he is one of the best managers in the world.
Well, your owner's playing FM with the players. You might as well play FM with the managers as well, innit? Just pick and choose.
Not gonna lie, it does feel like FM here.
No,
it does.
What about Diego Simeone? Could he come in at Chelsea maybe if he needs a fresh?
Oh, dear God, no.
Jerome will love him.
If you want Javon to commit suicide, then
no, dear God, no. I'll be done. I'm done. I will not be talking football anymore. I'm done. I do not want that guy anywhere near this club.
Chelsea would be serious with him.
Would you know? Definitely they might be serious with him.
Yeah, they would be serious with him. They would be serious with him.
Pass me my rope.
Far out of his depth. Yeah, 100%. I never thought he was the right man when they signed him in the first place. Just the same way I didn't think Ollie was the right man for Man United as soon as I saw that. The same way I thought, what's his name? Frank Lampard at Chelsea wasn't the right guy. Like, these guys, they ain't done enough to prove themselves. Like, you did a bit of work. You did a bit of work.
Xavi?
Same thing. It's just the same thing. Like, you're taking a gamble. I mean, that's always been Barcelona's way. Their last few managers, that's what they do.
Yeah, they were ex-players, but some of them were a bit more experienced. Like Ronald Koeman, more experienced.
Yeah, no, but even Pep had no experience. He was the Barcelona B manager, and then he got given the Barcelona main job. Like, his experience was managing the Barcelona B players, and he brought through a couple of the youngsters that he was using in the Barcelona B team through to the first team of Barcelona, and then the rest is history. But no, man, the risk, it's not worth it, man. It's not worth it. Like, there's so many cases, again, with what's that? David Moyes, Man United, again. Like, I truly believe that signing only happened because it was a Ferguson recommendation. If Ferguson kept his mouth closed, I don't think Man United signed.
They would have got Jose, 100%.
Yeah, exactly. You go on and get Jose straight after Fergie leaves, and Man United would have been in a much better place in the immediate.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't think any of these guys are good enough because they ain't proved their weight. Like, yes, it might work out, but honestly, it's a stab in the dark. Are you willing to take that stab in the dark? I mean, he's clearly got money to buy any coach that he could possibly want. He's spending how many hundreds and hundreds of millions on all these football players. Clearly, he could afford any manager that or any coach that was possibly available at the time. Like, you don't go and get Potter. I don't think he's good enough. Like I said, he might come good in the end, but I don't hold my breath in it. I don't hold. You go out and you get certified people. You see the success when you go out and get certified coach that are in the prime of their management that are currently winning trophies. Like at a point when Zidane won 3 Champions Leagues and he decided, all right, I'm going to take a rest. That's a manager that you go out and get. Man knows how to get things done. Klopp, Pep Guardiola, these men are currently winning stuff. These men are currently doing what? Those are the managers you go out and get. You don't go and get Graham Potter. Do you think he knows what it takes to win a trophy? I mean, come on, man. He managed
might want
Brighton.
someone in Ostersons.
Jesus, man. So yeah, I'm never a fan. I'm never a fan of a big club giving a small time manager that ain't won nothing a chance to prove themselves. I'm not a fan of it.
And how do small managers get the chance then?
Like when, no. But that's what I'm saying. Not at a big club. Do it at a small club. Then you work it up into a medium.
Yeah, but how can you work up to a big club if you're always at a small club?
For example, I wouldn't. Because when I say big, I'm talking about the giants of the world, right? So anywhere from Man United, Chelsea, Man City, Liverpool. Spurs is not a giant. They don't win nothing. Spurs is a club that you could say, oh, like Pochettino, for example. He did something at Spurs. You do something like that, then you get your chance at a PSG. You know what I mean? Like Jurgen Klopp. He did his thing at Borussia Dortmund. He won 2 back-to-back league titles at Borussia Dortmund when Bayern Munich. Well, that was a one-team league, and he won 2 back-to-back league titles. That's how you go and prove yourself. Patrick Vieira is doing well at Crystal Palace. If Arteta never worked out, fans often say, "Oh, go and get Patrick Vieira." What? No, you don't do that. What Patrick Vieira done? Yes, he's doing well at Crystal Palace, but what has he done realistically? That's not what you do. If you're trying to win something, you're trying to be somebody, trying to get somewhere, you don't go out and get these managers. I'm sorry, you don't. You get someone that is currently winning, that is currently doing something. And none of these guys, Lampard ain't never done nothing. It was never going to work at Chelsea. Never. I don't care that he's an ex-legend. Sorry. I don't care. This was not going to work. Ollie, not going to work.
Don't talk bad about it.
I want to add to what Carl's saying. I think
You want Zidane?
You know what? After reading through a group chat, it could potentially work because it's different. It's not like it's a team. I think from what I've read here, and I understand what the guy's saying, but from what I'm seeing here, obviously Chelsea are bringing all these talented youth from around wherever, and it's not like it's big names you're bringing into a superstar team. This is youth with talent that would normally go to maybe, let's say, like a lower side, get better, then get their move to a bigger club. So maybe potentially this could work in terms of Graham Potter's got this youth that's coming now. There's no egos, no this. It's just raw talent. Let's get them all to work. Something that he would have done at Brighton, for example, but just with better players. So maybe, just maybe, it could work. That's probably what's happening here. Because all I'm seeing here is Gasto, right back, youth, Maduki, youth, Nkuku. Like they're just all like young, raw talent players that are looking to be built.
I think it could work. But it's about how long are you willing to get. But I also agree it's a stab in the dark. It's a risk, because there's no record of them doing this before. When you go and get them, those kind of managers, including Arteta, the question is it going to work? Is how long are you willing to give it to work? Because up until the end of last season, at least on the outside looking on results, which generally managers are judged on, it wasn't working with Arteta. He finished 8th, and 5th. If Potter finishes 8th, and 5th, Potter won't be able to finish 8th, and 5th. He will get sacked after the second 8th place finish. So of course, if you let it go for maybe internally, you see, oh, there's things that are changing, and you believe and you really trust that it's going to happen. You give it enough time, it may work. So when you go and get a Potter or an Arteta or an Oli or a Lampard, you have to be prepared to quote unquote fail at first,
And give it
be
time.
successful later, or you go and get someone who's a bit more proven at a lower kind of level or lower club to get a more of an instant success. Now, I'm not saying Man United are instant successful, but you see bringing in an Oli. Granted, Oli finished third and second. Don't get it twisted. But even just the way we're playing, you bring in an Oli versus a Ten Hag. I'll do the comparison at Man United. I'm not, the obviously situation at Arsenal is a bit different, but he's come in straight away based on his experience and maybe winning elsewhere, whatever. He's come in and made Man United better than most people expected, and that's probably a lot to do with experience. Klopp went to Liverpool, and his first, they finished fourth, and I think did they get to Champions League final was the year after. Yeah, of course, because they weren't in the Champions League.
Europa League final.
They got in the first season, but he joined in October. First full season, they finished fourth. And the next season, they reached the Champions League final. So it's like when you have a world-class manager, or a proven manager, should I say, you basically fast-track that process. Can Potter work at Chelsea? Yeah, if they give him enough time. How long is enough time? I guess we'll have to wait and see. But listen, guys, thank you very much for everyone in the comments who's joined, who's interacted. Make sure you hit the like button on your way out. We're halfway through in the Premier League. Arsenal top. The title race is going to go on. As much as Arsenal are the favourites, it's going to go on, and I'm sure Man City are going to do their utmost to drag it as far and far as they can. The top four race is still wide open. Actually, I didn't ask Javon, Chelsea top four. Do you think they can make it or not?
I don't think we'll make top four.
So it might just be between Newcastle, Manchester United, and Spurs, who
It'll
won
be close, but I don't think
against Fulham. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, follow us on all the social media platforms, and we will see you soon.